You're 45 years old, maybe 50. You look at your LinkedIn profile, and it looks impressive. Senior manager, director, VP. You're making the most money you have ever made in your life. Six figures, maybe multiple six figures. From the outside, you've won the game. You have the house in the right school district. There are two European SUVs in the driveway. You go on the right vacations, your kids are in travel sports, but then 3 a.m. hits. You wake up staring at the ceiling and there is a pit in your stomach because you know the truth that your neighbors and your colleagues don't. You're broke. You are bringing in $10,000 a month, but 9,900 of it is spoken for before it even hits your account. You are one corporate restructuring, one bad medical diagnosis, or one recession away from losing everything. You're running on a treadmill set to maximum speed and you are exhausted. If this sounds familiar, you aren't having a midlife crisis. You are having a midlife realization. You've realized that you spent the last 20 years climbing a ladder that is leaning against the wrong wall. I'm Mark Fletcher, and this is the Money Sprint. Today, we aren't talking about cutting coupons or skipping lattes. We are performing emergency surgery on your financial life. We are going to dissect the high-income pauper trap, do the brutal math on your actual retirement trajectory, and execute a midlife hard reset to save your future. It's going to be uncomfortable. It might hurt your ego, but it's the only way to stop sprinting toward a cliff. Let's get to work. How does a smart person making $150,000 or $250,000 a year end up living paycheck to paycheck at age 45? It seems mathematically impossible. It happens because of a phenomenon I call lifestyle hardening. In your 20s, your expenses were liquid. If you lost your job, you could break your lease, sell your beater car, and move back home in a weekend. You had low income but high flexibility. By your mid-40s, your expenses have hardened into concrete. You didn't just get a mortgage, you got a jumbo mortgage in a prestige neighborhood where the property taxes alone are $1,000 a month. You didn't just get a car, you leased two luxury vehicles because you need to look the part for clients, and now you have $1,400 a month leaving your account for depreciation on wheels. You didn't just have kids, you bought into the elite youth industrial complex. Private tutors, travel hockey leagues that cost 5 figures a year, and the expectation of fully funded out-of-state college tuition. These aren't variable expenses anymore. They are fixed obligations. You have built a golden cage that requires a massive monthly injection of cash just to keep the lights on. Quick question. If you walked into your boss's office tomorrow and got fired, how many months could you maintain your current lifestyle without selling something or tapping into retirement accounts? 3 months? 1 month? 2 weeks? If the answer is less than 6 months, you are not rich. You are a high-wage indentured servant. Your lifestyle owns you. The bank owns your house. The dealership owns your cars. You are just the middleman passing the money along. The golden handcuffs are terrifying because they feel good. They are shiny. They signal success to the outside world. But they prevent you from doing the one thing that actually builds wealth, taking risks and buying assets. You can't leave the job you hate to start a business because the mortgage eats first. You can't invest aggressively because the car payment is due. You have traded freedom for inventory. And at 45, the bill is coming due. Now, we're going to do the math that most people in their 40s are terrified to look at. We need to calculate your lifestyle trajectory versus your retirement reality. Let's assume you are 45. You make a combined household income of $200,000. And let's be generous and say you've managed to save $300,000 in your retirement accounts. You feel okay. That sounds like a lot of money, but you are spending $180,000 a year to maintain your life. You think, I'll retire at 65 and live on less. Will you? When you retire, The mortgage might be paid off, but healthcare costs will triple. You'll want to travel. You'll want to help the grandkids. Lifestyle deflation rarely happens unless it's forced by poverty. So let's assume you need that same $180,000 a year in retirement to feel comfortable. Financial planners use something called the 4% rule. To generate $180,000 a year in passive income without running out of money, you need a nest egg of $4.5 million. You have $300,000. You need $4.5 million. You have 20 years left to close a $4.2 million gap. To hit that number, assuming an 8% average market return, you need to invest roughly $7,500 a month starting today, every single month, until you are 65. Do you have an extra $7,500 a month lying around right now? Of course you don't. It's tied up in the Rover payment and the country club dues. This is the midlife crisis. It's not about wanting a convertible. It's the mathematical realization that your current path leads to a cliff at age 65. The path you are on ends with you being the 70-year-old greeter at a department store because you didn't do the math when you were 45. If you keep doing what you're doing, you will not retire. You will just eventually become too old to work, and your standard of living will crash. That is the brutal reality. If the math is that scary, why don't people change? Why do intelligent, high-achieving professionals keep driving toward the cliff? It's rarely stupidity. It's usually ego and the sunk cost fallacy. By 45, your identity is tied to your lifestyle. You are the person with the nice house on the hill. You are the family that goes to the mountains every Christmas. The thought of downsizing feels like failure. It feels like admitting defeat. You worry about what your parents will think, what your colleagues will whisper at the water cooler, what your kids' friends' parents will say. We are social animals, and in the middle to upper class, spending is how we signal our tribal membership. Who are you trying to impress? Are you going broke to impress the neighbors across the street? I promise you, they aren't thinking about you. They are too busy having their own 3 a.m. panic attacks about their own debt. The second psychological trap is the sunk cost fallacy. You think, we can't move. We've put so much work into this house. Or, we can't pull our child out of travel sports. They've been doing it since they were 6. You are throwing good money after bad because you are afraid to change course. And finally, there is the parental guilt trap. We want to give our kids everything we didn't have. We think love means buying them a brand new car at 16 and paying full tuition at a private university. Listen to me closely. The greatest gift you can give your children is not a luxury car on their 16th birthday. The greatest gift you can give them is you not being financially destitute in your old age so they don't have to support you. Your financial security is a gift to your children. Prioritize it. Okay, we know the problem. We know the math, we know the psychology, now we fix it. If you are 45 and way behind, you cannot budget your way out of this. You cannot save your way to $4.5 million by cutting streaming services. That's using a scalpel when you need a hatchet. We need structural change. We need to free up thousands of dollars a month, not hundreds. This is the midlife hard reset. There are 3 steps, and they are all painful. Step 1. The housing downsize. This is the big one. The one nobody wants to do. If your mortgage, taxes, and insurance are eating up more than 25% of your gross income, you are house poor. You need to sell the dream house. Yes, the one in the perfect neighborhood. You need to move, maybe to a townhouse, maybe to a different zip code, maybe you rent for a few years. If you can take your housing costs from $5,000 a month down to $2,500 a month, you have just freed up $30,000 a year of after-tax investment capital. There is no latte skipping on earth that equals that. Step 2. The fleet liquidation. Look in your driveway. If you have car payments, they are gone. I don't care if it's a lease. I don't care if you're underwater. Get out of them. At 45, if you are behind on retirement, you have lost the privilege of driving a luxury car that depreciates like a rock. You are now a used Toyota or Honda family. If you are spending $1,200 a month on 2 car notes and insurance, and you cut that to $300 a month for insurance on paid-off cars, that's another $900 a month freed up. Just those 2 moves, the house and the cars, could free up over $3,000 a month. That is life-changing cash flow. That is the fuel for your new sprint. Step 3. The Junior Economy Reset. This is the hardest conversation. You have to sit down with your teenage kids and manage expectations. Tell them you aren't doing the $10,000 sports camp this year. Tell them you need to look at state schools or community college for the first 2 years. It's not cruelty, it's reality. Do not light your retirement on fire to pay for an undergraduate degree that your child can finance with low-interest loans. You cannot borrow for retirement. You've used the hatchet. You've endured the ego hit. You've downsized your life, and now you have an extra $3,500 a month in breathing room. Don't you dare spend it. This money has one purpose: to buy your freedom. Now we enter the sprint phase. At age 50, the government gives you a gift: catch-up contributions. Right now, you can max out your 401k and your IRAs. But once you turn 50, the limits go up significantly. You need to be maxing out every tax advantage space available to you. If you have a high-deductible health plan, max out the HSA. It's the most tax-efficient investment vehicle in existence. Once those buckets are full, you pour everything else into a low-cost, total market index fund in a taxable brokerage account. You have to become obsessive. You are trying to compress 30 years of saving into 15 years. You need to live like you are making $80,000 a year while you are making $200,000, and bank the difference. It's not forever. It's for a season. It's a 5 to 7 year sprint to get the boulder over the hill so gravity can start working for you instead of against you. Listen, I know this sounds harsh. I know the idea of selling the house and the cars feels impossible. A midlife crisis happens when the life you've built is unsustainable. You feel broke because functionally you are broke. You're just broke with nice stuff. You have a choice to make right now. You can choose the temporary discomfort of a hard reset today, or you can choose the permanent disaster of being destitute in your 70s. The neighbor's opinions won't pay your electric bill when you're retired. Your luxury car won't visit you in the nursing home. Real success at 45 isn't about the stuff you own. It's about the peace of mind knowing you own your future. It's about having walk-away money so you don't have to tolerate a toxic boss just to pay the mortgage. It's time to stop pretending. It's time to start sprinting. If this video gave you the wake-up call you needed, hit the like button and subscribe to the Money Sprint. We don't do sugarcoating here. We do results. It's not too late, but you have to start today.